In this video, discover why the ancient Greeks believed one mother's grief could stop the entire world from growing, and what her story teaches us about love, loss, and renewal. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to a video where I create a shrine to Demeter, the Greek goddess of harvest, agriculture, nature, and the sacred mysteries of life and death. While I craft this shrine, I want to share the rich mythology and timeless wisdom of this Earth Mother who governs the cycles that sustain all life. Let's do some magical crafting. Each month, I create a new shrine and research a new deity to learn more about them, about their roles and sacred symbols. As I craft this shrine, I'll share with you what I learned about Demeter. And when the shrine is complete, I'll be offering it in my shop so that a devotee of the goddess can own and display it on their altar or in their home. As I'm crafting this shrine to Demeter, I'm adding colors and symbols that represent her divine essence. The vibrant green grass exterior captures those lush meadows and fertile fields under her care. It reflects the life force that flows through all growing things. The golden yellow interior with its shimmering glitter creates an atmosphere of abundant harvest sunlight. It's like being inside a field of ripening grain kissed by the dawn. The painted wooden sunflowers in the background and on the edges honor her connection to the sun's life-giving energy and the cycles of growth that follow the light. While all flowers and crops are sacred to Demeter, sunflowers hold a special meaning as they're also tied to Apollo, connecting the nurturing Earth Mother with the solar deity who brings the light. The Demeter statue stands gracefully in front and surrounded by carefully arranged stalks of wheat. These represent her most sacred gifts to humanity, the knowledge of agriculture and the sustenance it provides. Demeter's sacred symbols tell us about her role as the great provider and nurturer. The sheaf of wheat is her most recognizable emblem. It represents not just physical nourishment, but the wisdom that comes from understanding natural cycles. The poppy flowers that often grew wild in grain fields became sacred to her too. They symbolize both peaceful rest and the dreams that come with her protection. The cornucopia, or horn of plenty, represents her boundless generosity. The pig was considered a sacred symbol for its connection to earth and fertility, while the serpent symbolizes her wisdom about the mysteries of death and rebirth. The torch is another powerful symbol associated with Demeter, representing her relentless search for her abducted daughter, Persephone, and symbolizing perseverance, maternal devotion, and illumination. Demeter stands as the ultimate Earth Mother in Greek mythology. She embodies the profound love that nourishes and sustains life. She represents the fierce protective instinct of maternal love and the deep wisdom that comes from understanding that life and death are part of the same sacred cycle. Her energy teaches us about patience and nurturing. She shows us the importance of honoring the rhythms of growth and rest that govern both nature and our own lives. She reminds us that abundance comes not from taking, but from tending with care and respect. The Greeks honored Demeter with titles that reflected how vital she was to their survival and spiritual understanding. They called her Demeter Thesmorphos, the lawbringer, acknowledging her role in establishing the customs and laws that govern civilized society. As Demeter Chthoniya, she was honored as the earth goddess who understood the mysteries beneath the surface. Demeter Carpophorus meant the fruit bearer, celebrating her as the source of all nourishment. These names show how the Greeks understood that her influence extended far beyond agriculture into the very foundations of human community and spiritual wisdom. Demeter's worship was central to Greek religious life. Her sanctuary at Eleusis hosted the most sacred of all Greek mysteries, the Eleusinian Mysteries. The Eleusinian Mysteries promise initiates a blessed afterlife and deeper understanding of death and rebirth. Her festival of Thesmorphia was celebrated exclusively by women, honoring her role in fertility and the continuation of life. These observances show how Demeter represented not just physical sustenance, but spiritual nourishment and the profound mysteries that govern existence itself. Unlike other deities who might govern specific skills or aspects of life, Demeter oversees the fundamental process that make life possible. Her domain includes not just crops and harvest, but the patience required for growth. She governs the wisdom to know when to plant and when to rest, and the understanding that loss and renewal are eternally connected. She represents the divine feminine principle that sustains and nurtures all creation. The myths surrounding Demeter offer profound teachings about love, loss, and the cycles that govern all existence. Let me share 3 stories that illuminate different aspects of her divine wisdom. The great myth of Persephone's abduction reveals Demeter's fierce maternal love and explains the origins of the seasons. When Hades seized her beloved daughter and took her into the underworld, Demeter's grief was overwhelming. She withdrew her blessings from the earth. Crops withered, nothing would grow, and humanity faced starvation. Zeus finally intervened, but because Persephone had eaten pomegranate seeds in the underworld, she was bound to spend part of each year with Hades. Demeter's joy at her daughter's return each spring brings the world back to life, while her sorrow during Persephone's absence creates the dormant season of winter. This myth teaches us that love sometimes means letting go. It shows us that separation can deepen appreciation, and that even in loss, the promise of reunion sustains us through the darkest times. The story of Demeter and the infant Demophon shows her desire to share her divine gifts with humanity. While searching for Persephone, Demeter disguised herself as an old woman and was taken in by the royal family of Eleusis. Grateful for their kindness, she secretly began making their infant son immortal. She anointed him with ambrosia and placed him in fire each night to burn away his mortality. When the queen discovered this and cried out in fear, Demeter revealed her true form. She explained that the mother's interference had prevented the child's complete transformation. And though saddened, she established the Eleusinian Mysteries as a gift to humanity, offering spiritual transformation instead of physical immortality. This myth reminds us that divine gifts often come in unexpected forms. It shows us that fear can interrupt blessings and that spiritual transformation is available to all who seek it with open hearts. The myth of Demeter teaching agriculture to humanity reveals her role as a civilizing force. She chose the prince Triptolemus to be her messenger. She gave him seeds of grain and a chariot drawn by winged dragons, then sent him throughout the world to teach humans the art of agriculture. He showed them how to plant, tend, and harvest crops, and through this gift, humanity moved beyond hunting and gathering to create stable communities and civilizations. This myth shows us that Demeter's gifts extend beyond physical nourishment. They include the knowledge and skills that allow communities to flourish and remind us that sharing wisdom creates abundance for everyone. I find it deeply meaningful that Demeter represents both the joy of abundance and the wisdom that comes from experiencing loss. Her energy teaches us that true nourishment comes not just from what feeds the body, but from understanding our place in the great cycle of existence. She shows us that tending and caring are sacred acts, and whether we're growing a garden, raising children, or nurturing our own growth. In her role as Earth Mother, Demeter understands that growth requires both active tending and patient waiting. She knows when to push forward and when to rest, when to hold on and when to release. Her energy supports us in learning these rhythms in our own life. She helps us understand that productivity and rest are equally sacred. Demeter's connection to the mysteries of death and rebirth offer comfort during times of loss and transition. She reminds us that endings are also beginnings. What appears to die often transforms into something new and beautiful. Her wisdom helps us trust the cycles of our own lives, even when we can't see what lies ahead. A life aligned with Demeter's energy is one that honors the natural rhythms of growth and rest. It finds joy in nurturing others and trusts in the abundance that comes from tending with love and patience. She invites us to consider some questions. How do you nourish yourself and others? What needs tending in your life right now? Where can you practice patience and trust in natural timing? Demeter teaches us that true abundance comes not from taking what we want, but from cultivating what we need with care and gratitude. Her energy reminds us that we're all connected to the great web of life, and that our well-being depends on the health of the whole. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of Demeter's wisdom and love. If you're interested in adding this shrine to your sacred space, you'll find it available in my shop. Until next time, may Demeter's nourishing energy help you cultivate abundance, patience, and deep appreciation for all the ways life sustains and nourishes you.